Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. And believe it or not, it is day 98 of the 100-day project. Now, in case you can't guess, this is another project with a boho bent to it. Oops, I'm sorry. I should just let me plug my phone in to some power here. Oops, sorry. Normally I do that and then I don't ever have to worry about. That's one less thing to worry about anyway. Okay. So this is a signature out of the boho journal that I'm working on. And basically I just wanted to show you how this could look. Now those pages need to be trimmed or folded back or whatever. So basically this is the idea, and of course this would be the pocket. So how did I get this, you may be asking? Well, it's very, very simple. All you have to do is buy a package of paper plates and then hang on to them for about 15 or 20 years. And there you have it. So totally seriously, I bought this from well, back in the day when Liquidation World existed, because of course I loved the pattern. So I came across this the other day, and actually a few packages of this design as well, which is another beautiful thing. So I thought, well, let me make this work. So the first thing I did was cut that lip off, because of course, you know, we can't use anything that is this, you know, this shape, this deep. So I cut this off, and then I cut this inner lip off as well, because of course, you know, it needs to lie flat. So of course these pieces, you know, probably still have a use to them. This probably isn't the piece here. Not that it particularly matters, but so see, that would have come off there. Now originally I hoped that the design could stay intact, but that of course is too wide, even if a person was using it as a journal topper. So I also tried peeling off. Okay, let me just show you. So you can see that it's just like if you were easing fabric around a curve. You kind of end up with little pleats in order to make that work. So basically what I did here is I managed to separate. Now I just had my nails done, so maybe I can do it. Basically separate the layers just so that the piece is more compliant and is going to do what you want it to do. And of course you also reduce some of the bulk. So those, and I don't know if that could ever sort of be smoothed out and flattened. I don't know that I would spend too much time worrying about that. But the reason I'm saying all this is because nothing has to go to waste. You know, so the same thing would apply to this. I'm not sure it's worth it on something like this because there isn't much of the design left, but you still get the beautiful purple. So let's put that aside and just show you what I did from there on. So I cut the design down the middle, and initially, do I still have it here? Yes. I also have been taking another good hard look at all the ribbon and trim that I have been sitting on for years. So I had this, and you can see it's fairly wide. I did cut off what I thought was an adequate length to go around the curve. And I actually tried to steam these over the kettle. Now, if anyone remembers back in the day when you had a kettle and you turned a burner on your stove and you filled this big, you know, thing with water, you could steam a heck of a lot of things over a long period of time because it just kept boiling and boiling and boiling. Now with electric kettles, they have that automatic shut off, so you know you barely get something flattened out and you know it's cut off. So a bit of a nuisance, and I don't, to be honest, know that it did much good. So initially I'd used the entire width, but you can see that this stuff does not really want to lie that flat. So what I found, and that was after I glued it down, that I just hacked off the edge. Didn't care if it was straight or if there was a wow in it or not, just because I thought it looked a little more in proportion. So because this is, you know, it's not as thick as a Chinette plate, but it's got a good strength to it. It will be a nice sturdy pocket, but you know, you still need to have access to get into it. So I thought that was fine. Of course, it could be trimmed even more, and maybe, you know, when the time comes, I would actually have to do that, because this part at the bottom of the page would be getting, you know, creased or whatever, or more could stick out the top. Doesn't matter. Personal choice. So essentially, that's what I thought we would do today. Oh, I should be letting my glue start flowing. And then I just, I also had something like this. It seems to me I bought a bunch of these. Oh, there's a pin holding it, but you can see it's 5.5 inches tall. This came on spools around Christmas several years ago, and then of course after Christmas when they were clearing them out for next to nothing, I bought a bunch. But because I hated how much space those spools were, about this thick or this much in diameter, I removed it and just, you know, minimize the amount of space that it takes. So I thought, okay, why don't I use some of that? It seemed like it could pick up the gold in there, and that's what I did. Now initially I cut a chunk off, and so I probably had a chunk about yay big, and it seemed like too much, so then I cut it in half again, and then I cut it into quarters. So that was about enough to make this little clustery thing, and that seemed to be good enough. Then I also had these sort of dimensional stickers that came from Dollar Tree, and of course they're perfect for, you know, the whole boho thing because they're so decadent looking. So that was that. But we don't have to do two things the same way. So I also have scraps of this lovely, lovely, lovely fabric, which is pretty darn close to those dots in that design. So I thought that was good. And this thing also has these medallions. Now that doesn't match, so I probably won't use that, but I can certainly, if I'm making a cluster, I can use a bit of that. Plus I also pulled out my wax seals. So I'm sure I could find a wax seal in there that would work. But let's begin at the beginning. The first step will be to glue down that trim, and then I'll trim it after the fact. So I hope that you guys are well. It's a Saturday afternoon when I'm filming these last couple of 100-day videos. So it's exciting, but it's a little bittersweet too, because I've really enjoyed doing this. And I just hope that it's become enough of a habit that I set a schedule for videos and just stick to it. You know, because it's so easy to find reasons why, oh, today wouldn't be a good day to tape. Oh, you know, I was going to do this or that or the other thing. So I think it's important. I guess I don't have to skimp that much. I can pull this a little closer so that it's, you know, to make a commitment and then do it, because it's a slippery slope to begin, I don't know. I don't want to say cutting myself slack, but you know, the only way to get what your mama told you is right. The only way to get results is to, you know, put in the time and the effort. So, you know, nothing's going to happen if I don't make it happen, kind of thing. Now, I just want to make sure, and I don't know how much you can see with this glittery stuff, make sure that, you know, sort of that little binding edge is not visible. Although if it was, a person could find another braid or trim or fiber or something that, boy, this thing, you know, it works fine for a day or so when you've just topped it up. But after that, back to the same old thing. You know, we've managed to put a man on the moon. Could we not have some glue that flows? And you can see how it wants to go like that, and I don't like it. That's why I trimmed it. Do have my sticky old pin here. Let's see if that will help. So another thing I did today was tape a thrifting video. And I hope that if you have an interest in thrifting and like to, you know, get a vicarious thrill from watching other people, you know, unpack or whatever, show their purchases, then I hope you tune in regularly to those videos as well. I do them on Thursdays using the hashtag Thrifty Thursday, which was started by Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming, and Thrifty Canucks, which was started by Kim Newberg for us Canadian kids. But I do them both on Thursday. I just use both hashtags. So yeah, it was the result of a bag sale. Didn't know it was happening, just happened to stumble in there, and sure enough, 3 bags later, okay, that's pretty good. So I'll just leave this on its side because we'll need it again, and I think I'll just hack this off wherever I want to. And again, whoops, maybe I don't want jagged, but I do want sort of an undulating kind of curvy thing to it. Yeah, those videos are a lot of fun to do. Now, of course, you probably can't hear it because I've got the door closed, but so once I did the thrift haul video, of course, I had a load of laundry to do off the linens and so on that were part of the haul. Okay, now I wonder. I think I want to use this, but I'll show you another. No, the colors are wrong. I found when I was going, I had a tote in my studio space downstairs that kind of, well, I forgot I had it, which is, you know, out of sight, out of mind, which for me is kind of deadly. Anyway, I'll just show it to you. It doesn't work in this particular position or project, but is this not cool? I don't know where I got it, Looks like I paid $1 for it, and there's lots on there. It's like a knitted thing and variegated yarn with a silvery, oh, it actually opens up this wide. I didn't realize that. I just thought it was kind of that width. And I suppose it doubled. So now that I've rediscovered it, it's like Christmas all over again. I will make it my business to use it somewhere. So I thought that was a happy accident. Okay, so we've got this glued down, and if I want to use this, and I guess I could, maybe this time I should put it nearer the top. Mind you, this will be that, yeah, so I can put this nearer the top. Maybe I want to put this underneath again, just for a bit of layering. And I think, in fact, what I did was I cut it just to get some more edges showing. And again, it might be hard to see that against. But by tearing it, I've got more frayed edges, and I have more ability to sort of position it in such a way that it'll show. And I think I just want to maybe roughen that up a bit, maybe cut a corner off so it's not so quite so regular. And again, it doesn't, you kind of look at this thing cross-eyed and it starts fraying, so not a problem doing that. Or would it be better on top? Maybe, which one of these should I use? Maybe I should use the one with the blue stone. Yeah. I initially hesitated before buying these because I thought, ugh, it's kind of tall. See, that's not lying very, can you see? Not lying very flat there, but I guess maybe I should have put a weight on it. I mean, I did this a few days ago. I have some ceramic coasters here. Let me just put some weight on it and see if that does anything. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll put the teal down first, or turquoise, I mean. You guys see that? Now, of course, this Fabri-Tac is going to bleed through because it's kind of thin fabric, but it doesn't matter because maybe I'll put a little bit of a pleat in there. Add a little more dimension, a little more interest and depth. And we don't care if it bleeds through because it'll be covered by other things. Maybe I'll just add a bit more glue here and pull this in slightly because this will be the leading edge of the pocket. So we don't want things necessarily, you know, bunching up there. So I'll just do a couple more blobs of glue, and knowing that this thing will hide anything. I should have something so I don't get all gluey. I'm really loving the boho thing. I'm probably sounding like a broken record because I keep saying that, but it's true. It seems like I've been kind of saving things for a lifetime and now finally get to use them. Okay, so that's probably good enough for the time being. This feels fairly sticky, but I'm not going to take that chance. Oh, and I didn't... Maybe what we want instead is one of these things, wax seal. That's pretty nice. I could put this back on its, and hopefully it sticks. Yeah, let's do a wax seal instead. Or I could have looked, but I didn't, for a, what am I trying to say here? Oh, a silk flower. But this is fine because it's got a bit of gilding on it. Don't think I have a real turquoisey one. And after all, it took me a year and a half to finally use these, to use this gift. So when I finally made my first wax seals, it would be kind of nice if I actually remembered to use them. Yeah, let's go with our first choice here. And what I could have done, but again, you know, where does this end, is attach another little bit of gold, you know, ribbon or braid or something purple along there. I mean, obviously, if you have any interesting or attractive paper plates and don't have a garden party planned very soon, yeah, definitely consider using it in a project. And of course, however you choose to embellish it after the fact boils down to your personal taste. But I think that's definitely a good start. Actually, what I could look for should be fairly handy here. Whoopsie. Are the sentiments that were in that kit. I could probably, yeah, maybe the bigger ones. Or, let's just see. Just quickly cut this out. Normally I try to do, I'm one of those people, excuse me, who does all the fussy cutting ahead of time. And then I have millions of little itty bitty things instead of 2 pieces of paper. So then finding the right one or remembering where I very carefully put them away is a whole other thing. And this was just printed on copy paper. So let's see if the size is about right. You know, that could be part of the plan here. Maybe I'll just pick artistic. There are so many of these repetitive sort of mindless jobs that are associated with making journals and paper crafting, that it's kind of hard to know, oh, what should I do while I'm watching Netflix tonight? You know, so it could be fussy cutting, it could be deconstructing books, it could be slow stitching. This, it almost feels like this isn't big enough to carry the day. What did I do with those? See, that arc there is not really a help in this situation. I think what I'll do is just glue that down. I'm not going to bother inking because, you know, I don't believe that everything needs to be inked. I'm just lifting it up so I can attempt something that looks straight. Cool. I lined it up with that. Okay. Now, is that too big? I could slap a butterfly or something on there. Do I have... I'll do that after the video because I don't know where. I don't want to waste your time while I look for those small pieces that I cut out. Wrong cover. Anyway, yeah. We can't have every video last forever. So remember, please, if you haven't already, subscribe. We're closing in on the 500 subscriber mark, and that is going to mean a giveaway. I think I'm gonna, oh, it already made contact. I think I'm going to bring this down. And make that the plan. Now, if when I put these into the journal, I feel that this gold is maybe still a little too wide, I, of course, can keep trimming it until I get, you know, until I'm happy with it. You know, maybe half an inch is the perfect width. But again, that doesn't have to be decided right this moment. Anyway, this is a quickie, guys. So, oh, yes, I was saying, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, make a comment, and we'll hit the 500 subscriber mark. We will have a draw, and everyone will live happily ever after. You don't get a promise like that often, I'm sure. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.